Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football. My name is Dave. I'm here with Scott and special guest Matty Ice, president of the Matty Ice Media Network here. Hopefully, Clev will be joining us in a little bit. First question for you guys. How's my audio?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, producing the show while the show's going on, that's a trademark of.
So I had to retire our old crackhead mic. I'm not going to tell the story of why it's called that here on air, but the old crackhead mic finally had to go. So I went out and got a new, better, hopefully fancier mic. Hopefully I sound better on the TikTok clips and all that as well. So Scott, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm happy to be joining you too.
Matt, how you doing?
Good. I have a question. Is this the first time two white guys have been on the same show?
I mean, since Mike and Mike, I think.
No, I mean like on Political Football. Is this the first time we've ever had two white dudes at the same time? I don't think the four of us have ever been together. Actually, wait. When
you
I
ever been with two
last
white
year
dudes
doesn't
before,
count.
Dave?
When I
Yeah, when I was in Japan, you guys were on together. I was gonna say you guys have been on together before.
That doesn't count. I'm talking about with you on the show. This is a first, and I'm excited. I hope Clev doesn't show up.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good time. Also, I love how you basically just said you hope Clev doesn't show up because he's black. That's really funny.
No, I hope Clev doesn't show up so we can talk about the Jets freely, unencumbered.
Because that's me. I'm always cumbered.
Pause.
You're always gruntled.
Yes. And today I am overwhelmed. What a day. So yesterday my boss reminded me of a 7 a.m. in-person meeting this morning that nobody ever told me about before because they only put it in Slack and didn't send an email. They put it in there on one of my days off. So I found out with 16 hours notice that I had a 7 a.m. in-person meeting. It was fine. I'm glad I went. It was a good meeting, but I'm a little tired. It's been a long day.
Good meeting. I don't think that's an oxymoron.
I mean, like, it could not have been an email. Right.
Okay, that's fair.
Like it needed to be a meeting. So there was at least that. So anyways, I'm very tired. I'm all over the place. My mind is just drained today. So we're gonna jump right into the games from last week here, going all the way back to last Thursday night. Scott, who played last Thursday?
Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
That is correct. Steelers 31, Bengals 33 on Thursday night. Joe Flacco 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Yes, that was Joe Flacco. Jamar Chase 16 catches, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 23 targets. Scott, what if I were to say that the secret to winning football games is just constantly throw the ball to your best player?
It's kind of a good idea. If you can, right? Like,
man, I think even if you can't, just throw it to your best player.
Well,
there's no way in the world that Joe Flacco throwing 47 times for the rest of the season, every game, is going to work, right?
No, it will not. But there are times when it will.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. Times, maybe a couple of them. But
yeah,
from now until Joe Burrow comes back, if 47 times, I was like, hey, whatever works, but I don't see that working in anything other than the icy hot bowl.
I mean, what are they supposed to do? Give 27 carries to Chase Brown?
No, but I don't know. There's something about a 40-year-old guy throwing 47 times for a team as the winning strategy that feels uneasy to me. That's all.
And it's not like their ability to protect him in pass pro is all that is that good anyway. It's like,
no,
but it is Jamar Chase. He is ridiculous. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and this game was ridiculous. It was a back and forth affair. I didn't even start watching. I was watching YouTube at the start of the game because like this is going to be boring. I'll flip it on for the fourth quarter. I quickly look at the score. It was like 21-14 in the second quarter. I was like, oh, I've erred. That was incorrect. So I watch it for the rest of the game. Steelers find a wide open Pat Freiermuth for a 68-yard touchdown to take the lead, but left too much time for Joe Flacco in 2025. Who's able to march the Bengals down the field to kick the game-winning field goal. My favorite thing about this game, though, was that Mike Tomlin, before this game, was basically clowning Andrew Berry of the GM of the Browns for trading Joe Flacco in the division during the season, and then he proved himself right by getting beat by Joe Flacco.
He seemed genuinely pissed about it.
Yeah,
he did. And, he was right. But still, I don't know.
I mean, it's the Browns. Shouldn't he be used to this by now?
And making horrible trade decisions.
Making horrible decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I think so.
All
So the Steelers are probably still going to make the playoffs and get obliterated in the first round, no matter who they play.
This is Mike Tomlin, though, right? This is where we are with him. Doesn't really
Yeah.
matter what iteration of the team that they have. It's they look okay now, but they're going to lose in the first round. And I just
The only saving grace, maybe, I'm curious what you guys think, is what if they get a home game?
I don't think it matters because I think they would end up getting the best wild card team. So if they're home against the Chargers or the Broncos or the Patriots or the Ravens, I just think they lose.
I could see Denver having a hard time. Young quarterback on the road in that environment, but I don't know. Maybe I'm giving Pittsburgh's home field advantage a little too much credit.
is there.
Yeah, the battle of overrated coaches because they won one Super Bowl because of their Hall of Fame talent on the team.
Well-
Listen, don't get me started on Sean Payton. I don't want to get into that again. I've already lost many, probably brain cells arguing this point. But Scott, the only thing I wonder is, even with a home game, that defense feels not great to me. And it's interesting because it's kind of the opposite of what we've come to expect from Pittsburgh over the years, at least in the Mike Tomlin era.
Yeah.
But I don't trust that defense home or away in the playoffs. At home, like you said, environment, you get the young quarterback. I just don't see them as a team that feels scary to me. They're Penn State. They don't feel scary to me whatsoever in a game of any magnitude.
Well, they're
That's
not Penn State because they're going to have a winning record.
Oh, God.
They'll get Indiana and Ohio State next. They're done. Anyway, Scott, please continue.
You're right. No, I mean it's true. It's just from the home field standpoint, it's bad weather, like really shitty weather. I mean, if you're Denver and you have to try, I know Denver's going to have their own bad weather, but young quarterback kind of thing. If the Chargers have to go there, right? Like it's a hostile environment from both a weather and fan standpoint. So it's something to overcome on top of being in the playoffs. Whether it means anything or not, we'll see.
I agree with that. Next game here, Rams 35, Jaguars 7. This game took place in London for some reason. Matthew Stafford threw for 182 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to win them a lot of football games if that's all I say all 5 touchdowns, but 182 yards and they win. That's all they really need from him. And that's no Puka Nacua, by the way.
Yeah, no Puka in this game. All Devontae Adams, Jordan Whittington. It was more of an idea than a football player in this game. Tutu Atwell was too light to put on the plane to go to England, so he wasn't able to go. And Kyron Williams didn't do anything. So I think the Rams legitimately had like 200 total yards of offense, but still turned into 5 touchdowns. And the Jags just, except for random games against Kansas City, they can't do anything against good teams. It's disheartening.
It is. The Rams defense is awesome though. Like that is not a team I'd want to play in the playoffs.
If Stafford can stay upright, I mean, he's older, so obviously protecting him, making sure he's got the back right, like anything could happen type thing. But I agree with you, Scott, that if watching them, I'm thinking they have a quarterback that's seen everything, done everything, and that type of wisdom is sort of invaluable. We just talked about young quarterbacks having to go on the road. Matt Stafford doesn't give a shit whether he has to go on the road, play at home. If he can do what he did in this game, which is not a whole lot, and stay healthy, that team is dangerous because I think they have the coach, quarterback, and just skill position players to really make something happen, which inevitably means they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, the thing is, for this game,
every time I predict it,
that's okay.
For this game, because Puka is a yak god. So if Puka played in this game, he would have gone 21 of 33 for 301 yards and 5 touchdowns. there's been longer touchdowns to Puka instead of 1 yard touchdowns to Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So I think we just saw.
What the hell's wrong with the Jags? Like, I know Cleve's on the Trevor Lawrence is a bus train, but like organizationally, what has not been put together for them at all? Like, it just seems odd to me. And you're right. I don't trust them against good teams ever.
I think it's Shane Waldron, which is honestly, it's a total bullshit thing to say.
Disagree. 100% accurate. The James Franklin of the NFL.
The reason why I'm saying is I don't know exactly how involved he is in there with that offense.
He's the passing game coordinator.
I know, but he's not the offensive. Like, he was the offensive coordinator in Seattle, and it was a clown show. And then, he gets hired to be Caleb Williams' offensive coordinator, and it's a clown show.
Yes.
And it makes me wonder, like, you have Travis Hunter, who you're really not using. I know he had a good game last week. Brian Thomas has got, I don't know what's going on with him. I think that we might be able to, in the future, point to Brian Thomas's rookie season as an aberration because of Mac Jones more than anything. Look at Mac Jones's game logs and Brian Thomas's game logs together, and you would think that they need to be together, right? Honestly, I mean, Brian Thomas did nothing at the beginning of last year with Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones shows up because Lawrence gets hurt. He goes off, and now we're back to,
So the thing is, and we touched on this once before, but I want to touch on it again. And I'll chop it into a TikTok, I think, because it's a good discussion. What we haven't seen is the Jaguars with Mac Jones, Brian Thomas Jr., and Shane Waldron. We actually haven't been able to run that test yet.
Yeah.
We have seen Shane Waldron have a rookie JSN, nothing happened. He leaves, JSN explodes. He had a rookie Rome Odunze, nothing happens. He leaves, Rome Odunze explodes. Now he comes into Brian Thomas Jr., who did a classic rookie thing of taking a long time to get going and then ramping up towards the end of the season. Yeah. The same thing Bucky Irving did last year. Same thing Amon-Ra St. Brown did his rookie year. Yeah. Very classic thing rookies do. And now we get Shane Waldron and BTJ disappears. And really Travis Hunter's disappeared as well. I think we have enough evidence to demonstrate that Shane Waldron is, in fact, a god-awful passing game coordinator and should not be anywhere near an NFL or high-level college football or high-level high school football or arena league team ever again.
UFL's in play, though, apparently.
Yeah,
because those quarterbacks are so bad, nobody can help them.
But they're dropping the ball like crazy, too. I mean, I think there's a stat out there that there are 36 plays that are either drops or wide receiver failures, so to speak, that should be completions through 7 games. Like, think about that. Like, how does any quarterback really overcome those things? I don't know.
Yeah. Notice I didn't say anything about Trevor Lawrence.
I know.
Yeah. Now, I do think that Liam Cohen has an issue because Trevor Lawrence is not as good as Baker Mayfield, and nobody in that backfield is anywhere close to Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
And so I think he's having a lot of trouble just trying to do the things that he wants to do anyways. And they won so many games up front, and they still have a winning record. I think they're 4-3.
Yeah,
that
they are.
They won't want to make the switch from ATN to Tootin, but I think if they want to find their next Bucky Irving, it's not Travis Etienne.
No.
And I'm not saying this because of my best ball bags, but also they need to go to Bayeshel Tootin.
Virginia Tech?
I don't know the Tootin thing. I don't know what. I don't totally get it.
Get why they're not using him?
No, I don't. What's in his profile that would make him the savior for the? We don't have to go there, but like, what is it about him specifically?
I can do this very quickly. Fastest 40 time at the combine. Workhorse workload at Virginia Tech in college. Really good in the passing game.
Is he good in pass pro?
Is anybody else on the Jags?
Fair.
I don't know, but I mean, I think Etienne's okay there. I mean, it's one of the reasons he stayed the extra year at Clemson. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not sure that just throwing Tootin in there is the solution to all of their problems. I think it has to be. It's more holistic than that. Like, there's something fundamentally flawed with what it is that they're trying to do. And it could be a Trevor thing. I have no idea. Maybe, I know losing Brenton Strange is a problem for them, but I don't know. It's just, that is a weird scenario. Their offense is so hot and cold. I mean, maybe sometimes it is a home road thing. Like with Atlanta, there appears to be a home road thing happening. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But it's got to be frustrating to be a fan of that team because it's all there for them.
Last thing on this game, losing Brenton Strange cannot be a problem for them. Why is that, Matt?
Oh wait, isn't he the guy
he went
that
to
the
Penn
Patriots
State?
got? Yeah,
There you go. He went to
there
Penn
you go.
State.
Yep.
Oh. Man, I love dunking on Penn State. We are looking for a new coach. Saints 14, Bears 26. This was the first game, in my opinion, where Spencer Rattler has actually looked really bad this year.
Yeah.
He hasn't always looked great, but this was the first time he looked really bad. 20 of 32, 233, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, 4 sacks. The Bears are on a 4-game winning streak now. And Scott, you owe a letter of apology to Drake May. Do you owe one to DeAndre Swift?
No. Why?
19 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown back-to-back weeks over 120
What about
yards.
the previous 100 games he's played?
I was gonna say.
Thank you, Matt.
You mean with Shane Waldron?
No. The Lions let him go for a reason and replaced him with multiple players for a reason, right?
This isn't like his second year. I mean,
He went to Philly. They let
right.
him go for a reason, Dave.
So I think that there are players that make bad teams good, and then there are players who can be really good on good teams. What if DeAndre Swift only ever played on shit teams, and this is the first good team he's played on?
He played for the Eagles.
Did he?
A year before they won the Super Bowl, he played for the Eagles. He was the starter.
Is that the year they lost 10 games in a row to end the season and Big Dom got suspended?
I don't know.
No, that was the Sirianni and Jalen Hurts weird year where they were good. It was the year after they went to the Super Bowl, I think, right? Where they were good, but they weren't great. We were kind of like, what the hell's going on with that team? They looked kind of strange. And I don't know. But I think I get what you're saying, Dave, about he had a good game and he has looked good in the offense. But I feel like Scott has been watching him for long enough that there's a sample size that would justify Scott not liking DeAndre Swift and being fine with them. The Lions, moving on from him, whether he has
the coordinator was part of the reason they
Sure.
moved on from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's now the head
moving on
coach
from him.
Sorry,
never,
Matt, I interrupted you. I apologize.
I've
pissed.
never myself said that DeAndre Swift is a dust ball. Scott's never said it either because he doesn't call people dust balls, but man, has he strongly implied it. And I'm just saying, I don't think DeAndre Swift has ever been or is currently a dust ball.
I don't think he's a dust ball either, but I don't think he's anything more than a replacement level running back. Kyle Menangi had a really nice game last week too. Are we going to anoint him after 1 week?
You mean the 7th round plotter out of Rutgers?
Okay.
The next Isaiah Pacheco?
Here we go.
That's rough.
I like Menangi. I don't like Pacheco.
Yeah. It's Menangai, by the way.
Whatever.
Not menage a trois or whatever you were saying.
We don't need to get into the context or the whatever of this stuff.
Who needs semantics?
Jeez.
Bears are at Baltimore this week. Game total has a 53.5 point total. Lamar is going to be back in this game. If the Bears beat the Ravens with Lamar in Baltimore to go to 5-2, Scott, are they a legitimate playoff contender and threat?
Probably, but that's tough. Are there going to be 3 teams from the NFC North make the playoffs?
Sure.
If there are, yeah, they're in range to be that.
Because you would need just one other wild card from the other 3. So you get just the Eagles, just the Rams, or just the Bucs, and then the Rams and the Seahawks or something.
Yeah, I'm sure the math adds up, but it's like, we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
For the Bears to be,
thinking
they're playoff bound.
But 5-2 with a win at Baltimore with Lamar playing is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Lamar's going to play to be. Well, you might know more about it.
Well, here's the thing. the total on the game is 53.5. So Lamar is playing, because if Lamar wasn't playing, Cooper Rush ain't having a game total that high.
That's true.
With him playing. So the fact that the total's that high means that Vegas at least is expecting him to play, and the line isn't crashing down.
Well, he didn't practice yesterday, which
limited today.
Yeah, so he didn't practice yesterday, limited today. It's a little bit, I think everybody thought he was going to practice yesterday, and it raised some alarm bells, around, is he going to play this week, or are they going to sit him one more week? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as the week goes on.
As long as he doesn't backslide, he's playing. If he's limited the rest of the week, he's still playing. If he ever moves up to full, he's good. But if he goes back to a DMP, then he's in trouble. But
yeah,
if you think there's a decent chance he doesn't play, you should bet the under on that game immediately. Right.
The one thing. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
I was going to say, even if there's a 20% chance he doesn't play, for one, the total should be 50-50 anyway. So you add on the 20% Lamar doesn't play, you get Cooper Rush, that total would be 44.5. So if you think that, it's a bet. I'm not betting it. I think Lamar plays. Go ahead, Matt.
I think the one thing all three of us can agree on, whether they make the playoffs or not, and whether we feel like they're a legitimate playoff contender or not, the Bears look decidedly better than at any point than they looked last year. And I think that's encouraging, because you want them as a team to look like this in year 2 of Caleb Williams, and especially with Ben Johnson as the coach. Watching them at the beginning of the season, I was a little skeptical, admittedly, and I needed more data. But I agree. If they go in there, and even if they lose, Dave, I think if they go in there and Lamar plays and they look competent, they lose a close game, I still feel better about them than some other teams in the league based off of how they looked last year and the way that they're ascending this year. They're very Patriot-like in the way that they are looking with a second-year quarterback, everything like that. And that's kind of where I'm going with it, is that they could make the playoffs or not. If they look competent the whole way through the season, they're on the right track.
I hate it. I hate it. You can't make that kind of sense and come on this show and talk like that and make all that sense. And then
we haven't gotten to the Patriots yet.
This is total bullshit.
I have something for you later.
Don't you know where you are?
Hate it.
These good salient points.
There's no room here for that kind of information.
It's funny. Hold on. It's funny you guys say that, because Brad tells me this all the time. He says the reason that we don't have more people, one, is nobody gives a shit, but two, is we don't do hot takes. And I tell him, the longer we just have logic, salient points, it's going to come back around to that being popular again. So we just have to wait it out. We just have to wait hot take television out, and we'll make it. At 10 years from now, we'll be here.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Give it
time. So here's the thing. I just don't like to spit hot takes for the sake of spitting hot takes. Now, Dolphins 6, Browns 31.
What did you just say?
The University of Michigan should take Stephen Russ's name off the School of Business because he hasn't fired Mike McDaniel yet. So obviously he doesn't have any business sense.
Dave makes hot takes, but he has conviction. He believes all of them. So I think he's exactly right.
I'm aware.
I never say anything I don't actually believe unless I'm clearly saying something in jest.
Right. So I think what he said, I don't think that's crazy. But Stephen Ross,
I'm talking historically. Dave likes.
Well, you have more of a history and more of a personal history. But let's talk about the Dolphins for a minute. What the fuck?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah. The Dolphins are terrible.
Yeah, 2 in this game, 3 picks, 4 turnovers total for Miami.
Did you guys see after he threw one of the picks what Mike McDaniel was doing? Matt, did you see it? It is absolutely hilarious.
It's worth a look up for sure.
It is. He like points at the offense and just goes off the field. It's just great.
But Scott, at the press conference after the game, they asked him about the performance, and he says, "I didn't see this coming." What the fuck, man? Have you not been watching this team all season? How did you not see that coming?
He might have been high. Who knows?
No shit. Listen,
is he vaping?
All right. You can wear capris as an NFL football coach if you're winning games. If you're 1-6 losing to the Browns, you just cannot look the way that he looks, act the way that he acts, and still be an NFL head coach. Because if both the head coach and the quarterback don't have any respect in the locker room, that's never going to work. One of them has to.
It's bad. It's bad.
I'm just mad.
Honestly, I thought coming into this game, sorry, Dave. I thought coming into this game, Miami they've played tough football for the last couple weeks, and surprisingly had been, they were tough to get through. This week, I don't know what happened. It was almost like they just, I don't want to say they quit, but like there were vibes around, yeah, that doesn't look right.
Well,
I don't know.
His inability to do anything in a press conference seems to have something to do with that, because he did say basically, again, there's no accountability here. Nobody shows up to team meetings, and the team's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Well, that was
So
2 weeks ago.
like-
So this was the first.
yeah.
This is our first, our first peek at the Dolphins since he said that. Makes you wonder.
It's awful.
Bizarre.
It's awful.
1 second. Schroeder, I'm trying to host the show. Can you please just
come
lay
on,
here
you can
quietly?
be a part of it.
Yes, you can.
This is a girl, Scott. She is a girl.
I'm sorry. Hey.
If
Football's for
my
girls,
son
too.
made betting picks on the show at 3 years old, Dave's cat can be on here.
Why not?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. She could be up here. Just please sit the fuck down.
They don't
Quinshon Judkins, 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a bunch of Wildcat snaps as well. So I like how the Browns were like, Dylan Gabriel is 5'6" and can't see at the goal line, so he's going to snap it right to Judkins, let him run.
Yeah, it's nice because, it's different angles, and Judkins can kind of pick where he wants to go. He doesn't have to focus so much on other things. My assumption is they went heavy there, and they maybe brought in an extra fullback, tight end, whatever it is. Judkins is, I don't know what you guys think, but he could be a very interesting long-term, bell cow kind of really interesting running back.
He might be. So I have him in our league, in our dynasty league, and I think behind Brock Bowers, he's the number 1 player I wouldn't trade now. I'd trade anybody for the right price, but he led the SEC in rushing as a true freshman. I mean, the pedigree was always there with him. So I don't think it's a shock to see this. Now, the existential risk with him is that, does he get in trouble again?
Well, yeah, there's that, and then the fact that he's on the Browns, which is both of those are issues.
Yes,
those are major problems. Patriots 31, Titans 13. Matt, go.
Oh boy,
Scott, I have a question for you. So
Shoot.
you have been accused of looking like Heisenberg, and so right now, after them being 5-2, I want you to say his name. Just say his name.
Drake
Your
May.
guy. Yes.
Drake May.
I want to hear it.
I said it 3 times.
Look, that game is funny because in the first half, Brad texted me and he's like, hey, the Titans look pretty good. And then it was 31-3 and all was right in the world. But look, Dave, 2 weeks ago, I was not as convinced that this was a playoff team because I needed to see a little bit more. That's the way I've always been as a fan. But Scott, you sent me those videos about Drake May, watching his footwork. He has improved by leaps and bounds in so many ways, just in the 7 games that they've played this season, not even comparing him to last season.
Yeah.
And something is working there. And it's kind of the opposite of the Jags. It's holistic. There are many factors as to why this team is winning. One of them being they're playing completely ass teams. And from here on out, too, their schedule from here on out, if they don't win 5 of however many games they have left, then this team doesn't deserve to make the playoffs because they're playing like the Jets twice, the Dolphins, the Browns. They should be beating a lot of these teams. I'm excited. I've yet to call my father yet because I can only imagine how awful that phone call is going to be, but they look good. And the Titans continue to look like ass, whether Brian Callahan is there or not. I feel so bad for Cam Ward because he's dying.
Yeah.
He's also really bad.
It's a mess there. It's going to take time.
It's going to take time for sure. But like,
I mean, at present, I don't mean forever. I'm not declaring him to be a bust after only 6 games. This is in
he
FS1
knows it too. He has said that about himself, that he's not playing well.
Yeah, his head is in the right place, which I think ultimately he'll worst case scenario be an elite level backup. But yeah, he's really not playing well right now.
I feel bad for guys like him. And Trevor Lawrence is in this category too, because remember his first year, most of his first year was with Urban Meyer. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is true, I would need to go and look at the data, but rookie quarterbacks with high ceilings, and I would say Cam Ward is in that category, when they get drafted to a team that has or seemingly has somewhat incompetent coaching, I feel like it sets them so far back. And not even just that they need another year. It's like, hey, let's make you forget how to play football. Let's make you forget how to play quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence seems like he's where he's at. It's never going to get better with him. And I think we expected it to be better. And I hope that the Titans hire somebody who can get the most out of Cam Ward, because I loved watching him play in college, and I want to see some of that again. But oh God, it's all bad, and it's year one, so I get it. But I hope that they figure it out, because he has too many skills to just wither away and basically die in terms of his NFL career.
Well, if we look at the Lawrence thing, how many different offensive coordinators has he been through? So Cam Ward will be starting next year. It'll be Miami, the Miami offensive coordinator and their offense. It'll be the Titans offense in year one and whatever they had going on, and a new head coach and a new coordinator. That's a lot. That's three different offenses you got to know intimately in two just over 2 seasons. It's a lot.
Well, this is becoming a trend too, where it feels like these coaches are drafting these guys and then getting fired in the next season. And you even talked about it last year with Caleb Williams and the Bears going back 15 years. This is a trend that I feel like needs to come to a halt at some point. Like if they're going to start over, make sure they start over with a coach that they actually want. Like they kept Matt Eberflus for literally no reason. And this is the kind of thing where if you watched Callahan last year, did we not know that it was not going to be any better? Like, did we not figure out that it wasn't going to be better? It's kind of like, what was the famous quote about the Florida head coach? Like, whatever's going to be done eventually should be done immediately type of a thing.
Yes.
Like, get in. I love that quote. But get in and figure it out now, because, like, the windows are so short. So if you set your rookie quarterback back 2 years because your coach sucks, you may not ever get it back. Your window is now even shorter. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
No, and you're making a really good point, because if you're burning 2 years of his rookie contract, that's the entire point of taking a quarterback.
Right.
And
that's the
40%.
cheapest way to win.
I'm not great at math, but that's 40%.
Don't ask the people at the White House, because that'll be like 158%. But anyway, continue.
Speaking of those ass hats, anything that needs to be done eventually should be done immediately is not something we want the White House people to hear, or else we'll be at war with China in like 3 days.
Yeah. No, but
so
but when it comes to something trivial like football or coaches or what have you, I think that it does make a lot of sense. Like I said, organizationally, like if you asked the Titans or like ownership what they felt of Brian Callahan at the end of last year, did they feel like it was just all of a sudden going to work? You know what I mean? Like that bringing in a rookie quarterback isn't going to solve all your problems, because he's a rookie quarterback. We're expecting him to have growing pains. That's not an instant 3-win to 14-win turnaround. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. And yet organizations continually turn over, draft the guy, don't have the coach, and they never actually get there.
Yeah. They don't have a plan to develop the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Plan. Yes.
I have another bet that I want to make. Paul, if you're still there, if you could look this up and tell us in the chat here. I want to bet AFC East exact order of finish. Patriots first, Bills second, Jets third, Dolphins fourth.
Can you really bet that?
Oh, yeah.
Where do you have
can
to
bet
go
it before the
that?
season, during the season. You can bet at DraftKings, FanDuel, all of those. Nobody sponsors the show. But you can bet it. But like all of them. You could go to bet MGM, ESPN bet. They'll all have it.
Yeah, the odds change every week, don't they?
Yeah. And those are some of the best ones to bet in the preseason if you have strong convictions on either a winner or a loser of a division. If you're like, I know for a fact the Vikings are finishing last this year, then you can just start betting a couple combinations with the Vikings and last that will be long shots anyways. But yeah, I'd like to see, because I think people won't expect the Dolphins to drop behind the Jets, but why not? They're only a game ahead of them. And in a worse situation, in my opinion. So
it all goes away if and when Tua decides he's just, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah.
Or he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then everything they do changes, and then there's also the trade deadline stuff where their roster could get diminished.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Patriots. Chiefs 31, Raiders 0.
How many total yards of offense did the Raiders have?
That I don't know, but I have an even
12?
better one for you.
Shoot,
12?
I don't know.
Oh,
Less than 100, I think. I don't know.
probably. I have another one here for you, Scott.
Yeah.
How many first downs did Kansas City have in this game?
I don't know.
30. How many total plays did the Raiders run in this game?
It's got to be more than 30.
It's 30.
Wow. That is wild.
So I actually first heard that stat earlier this week. Jim Rome said it, and I was like, "There's no way that's true." He got. Like I had to go. I went and sourced it 3 different places because it sounds so insane.
That
Scott,
is crazy.
I have this for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Raiders had 95 total yards of offense in this game. The Chiefs had 434. This is the best stat. The Raiders had 10 drives. The Chiefs had 9.
The Raiders had 10 drives and had 95 yards of offense
and 30 total plays.
That's correct. Yep.
I think you almost have to be trying to
Yeah,
fail.
that's averaging a 3 and out every drive, which means you're turning the ball over on like first down a couple times, so you get a couple 4 and 5 and outs.
Also, they had 10 drives and 17 minutes of possession. That's it. Put in the good work.
Yeah.
We talked about Aaron Glenn potentially being a one and done. Pete Carroll is
I said it 2 weeks ago. Dave, we talked about this. We
You
talked
did,
about
yeah.
this. And I'm like, 5-year plans are, I think, pretty common, right? With these franchises. Like, get a rookie quarterback, think about that 5-year span that you got the guy. And it's like, so let's hire a 73-year-old coach. Let's bring in Geno Smith. This is not a shade on Geno at all. Like you've said, Geno's inevitable, but let's bring in a guy who isn't exactly young. Let's also draft a running back who had 6 carries for 21 yards. That's terrific. And let's act like we're win now. I don't understand it. It's the Raiders. That's the only thing I can say. But Pete Carroll should be on a fucking beach somewhere.
It's bizarre. It really is. I mean, even the Janty stuff, Janty's a really good player, but you know, in a perfect world, you need to have things in place if you're going to draft a running back to get the immediacy of the results you're looking for. But you know, my assumption is Pete Carroll was involved in Geno Smith getting to Vegas. That looks like a total flop. Am I wrong about that?
No, he looks horrible.
He looks terrible, but it's just the decisions that were made to get the Raiders where they are. And I know that their offensive line is down their best player. Dave, I think you said like you can't have 4 average offensive linemen and then 1 really good one, and then he leaves and that's it, right? Yeah. But everything looks bad. Everything looks bad. Like, and this is not just a 1-week aberration. They've looked like ass. Of course, they beat the Patriots, but they've looked like ass every week since then. Like just ass cheeks every single game. And I don't know what the plan is because they're going to get rid of Geno most likely. If Pete Carroll, they get rid of him too. What's the plan now? You're going to be bad, but still, like it's not like the quarterback class coming out is like, whoa.
Yeah, it could be really, really good, but it could be really bad too. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, there's a lot of like, anybody want Ty Simpson? Really? As the first? Really?
No, the first pick is going to be Francisco Mendoza.
Do you really want him? Like, I mean, is there conviction about that? You know,
there will be.
Oh, there will be for sure. It's just
it's building towards it.
Yeah,
I mean, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks is pretty damn good.
Who's that?
21 touchdowns, 2 picks for Mendoza. Again, it's
college,
it's a little different. But
to hell with the numbers. He's about to win a national championship with Indiana.
Yeah. I can't even believe that this is a thing. Like I thought about it today, and I was like, I'm going to have to explain one day when James is older and Indiana probably goes back to the mean and looks like Indiana has looked. I'm going to have to tell him that I lived through the Kurt Cignetti era at Indiana, and it's been glorious, to be honest.
Yeah, start with Leicester City and just work your way up to Indiana.
Unbelievable.
That's a
Raiders
soccer
are ass.
joke, Scott.
The Raiders are ass, but I'm going to tell you what.
I was going to ask, but I was embarrassed.
The Chiefs, though, I never doubted Mahomes, but I doubted the skill position players. But now looking at them and looking the way that Mahomes is playing, again, the Raiders are a different beast entirely, but you can't doubt the Chiefs, I feel like, because they're getting guys back. They have speed now on the outside, and that's all that they need. Because the guy that gets in the ball, I still say this every week, the three of us could line up for the Chiefs and get 40 targets in a season. Like, he would just find a way to get us the ball. That's how good he is.
He is remarkable.
Remarkable.
He's incredible. And Rashee Rice returning kind of slots everybody into that offense where they should be, instead of Xavier Worthy should not be playing as, an outside receiver. It's just not the strength of his game. And Tyquan Thornton shouldn't be doing that either. Rashee Rice is really going to be the thing that drives that. But I don't know what's going to happen with that running game. Maybe there's some trade deadline stuff there that makes it. Like, think about Brees. I know everybody's talking about Brees Hall in Kansas City. Is a, give me that guy the rest of the year in fantasy, please. Josh Simmons is I don't know what's happening there. It sounds potentially not great. The rookie left tackle, he hasn't played in 2 games. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, he was injured coming into the draft, which is why he fell. So
right. But I don't know what's happening there. But it's potentially a large loss for them. But Matt, to your point, Mahomes is Mahomes, and I would not want to deal with that team going forward. I wouldn't.
Speaking of teams I have no problem dealing with going forward, Eagles 28 at Vikings 22. So I said offline, kind of in jest about a month ago, that Saquon Barkley was dust adjacent.
You did?
And it was kind of in jest because, obviously he can't be dust adjacent. He just come off a 2,000-yard season. I'm no longer jesting. I think he's done.
I've been saying that for a while this year.
I think he'll have good games again. He'll pop up for 100 yards and a touchdown here or there because he's not washed forever. But it's over for what happened last year. He is inefficient. It's not coming back. The juice is gone. He's not going to be what he was last year ever again. And the Eagles in this game finally realized it. So Jalen Hurts at 19 of 23, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, perfect passer rating. A.J. Brown, 4 for 121 and 2. Devontae Smith, 9 for 183 and 1. Just like the Bengals, get the ball to your best players.
Yeah. Now let's hope. I mean, if you're an Eagles fan, you would hope that they would stay there.
Yes.
Let's not, because they did this a few weeks ago, and then they pivoted right back to inefficient, let's grind it out kind of stuff. Right? We saw what they did last week. That 1-2 combo with Jalen Hurts is as dynamic as it gets. Just do that,
Yeah.
But I know it's hard to do that kind of stuff week in and week out. But those guys are dudes. The Barkley thing is an interesting conversation, and I mean, at some point in time, the end will come for him quickly because of the style in which he plays and how much force he uses to move because he's so big, and so lower body heavy. But I don't know. If that team decides it wants to throw the ball a bunch, they're a dangerous team.
If they decide to be a 10 to 13% over PRE passing team, pass rate over expectation team, and they use Saquon in the running game as a changeup, he'll look good again.
Yeah.
He's
just flipping the script on how teams do things.
Yeah.
With Saquon, I feel like last year, as the season was building and he got up to where he got to, I thought they just basically got multiple years of elite level Saquon Barkley in this one season. They won the Super Bowl, a lot of mileage on his body, and they won the Super Bowl. That was the goal. And if that's all that they get out of Saquon Barkley in terms of elite level Saquon Barkley, then to me, the acquisition worked out. But this year, you do have to change it up. And if they do this consistently, Scott, to your point, but this is my thing with Sirianni is I don't trust that it's going to stay consistent because it's what the hell? whenever Sirianni is gone and we talk about his time with the Eagles, it'll be so interesting because as of now, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1 Super Bowl, but yet it's one of the weirdest stints in which they've been successful that I can think of. Just strange. But the Eagles, I think, righted the ship for this week. Consistency is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's fair.
Carson Wentz in this game threw no touchdowns, 2 picks, including a pick 6, and has been named the starter for Thursday. Scott, are they done with JJ McCarthy, or is he actually still hurt?
I don't. It's a great question. There's no good answer. I don't know what to make of it.
They can't be done with him, can they?
I don't think
the locker room could be.
But why?
Right.
Because they think they went 15-2 last year. They got rid of Sam Darnold, so they think that the veteran guy who just came in gives them a better chance to win after how bad McCarthy looked in the games that he played.
That's unfair.
I didn't say it was fair.
It's I don't know about. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I would just point the entire locker room to week 18 last year and the first week in the playoffs last year and ask them if they think that Sam Darnold is good enough to get them to win anything, because It's not. The original timeline on that injury was 2 to 6 weeks. So the comment from Kevin O'Connell was that if the game was Sunday, he thinks that McCarthy would play. But that's the kind of thing that somebody would say if they're trying to avoid, getting caught, with their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, in and around a player who they don't know what to. I don't know what to make of it. It's a bizarre situation that started bizarre in the preseason and has stayed that way the entire time. It's weird. It is a weird scenario. I still believe in McCarthy. I think he's a really good prospect. I think he's a good player. I don't know what's happening there. It's bizarre.
Well, they need to give him time. But I have a question. Last year, McCarthy goes down. He's out for the whole year, which, yes, sucks because you want him to get reps and you want him to get opportunities. But let's just call it a wash, and let's say that this is a year that, okay, fine, right? Like we'll be back next year to implement our plan. And I thought about this today, and I was like, I wonder if the worst thing that happened to the Vikings was ending up having the year that they had last year, right? Because they go 15-2, and to your point, Dave, I could see the locker room being like looking at last year and thinking, well, what the hell? Like we did this with Darnold. Like, how can we not do this with JJ? But JJ's a rookie, essentially. Yes, it's his second year, but he's never played. So you have to give him the grace in order to get up to speed, to see defenses and actually take in data. And I feel like if they're going to pull the plug on him now, just because of last year, to me, that's a misguided. I mean, the data from last year to me doesn't translate to what JJ McCarthy can do, because nobody saw that coming, did they?
And Paul makes a point. Paul made a good point about it. Maybe he is just still hurt, right?
He probably is. And if he is, then keep him off the field. But like, if this is going to be a drama thing every week where they're not saying that he's hurt, it's doing him no favors.
It's not helping anybody.
No.
I mean, it's a little unfair to Wentz too. Like, we're going to keep, I know, like, who cares? But like, we're going to keep pushing you in this lineup, and we're not going to commit to you for next week. And we'll see on Thursday or Friday next. It just seems strange. I'd have a hard time with the concept of them being all in on McCarthy to the point where he had won the job in the preseason of last year, and then out after what has he played this year? 2.5 games. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's the NFL. Sometimes that happens.
Dave's muted.
He's muted.
That or the cat knocked the mic out, which actually would be terrific.
Not yet.
He is done. Well,
all
Scott,
right.
We can chat it up about whatever we want.
Panthers 13, Jets 6.
Boom.
Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. So
the Jets.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Everything about this game sucked.
Yes.
And I'm mad it was ever played. And I'm mad that both these teams exist.
Can I Can I just say one thing and then I'm going to shut up about it? I think the Jets are in the middle of doing something very smart. Right?
Losing?
Well, you committed to effectively 1 year to Justin Fields.
Yeah.
There really was no pathway for this team to win a bunch of games. There just wasn't. So if he pushes them and turns them into a team that does, because he plays so good, you got him cheap enough that it's a bargain for what they've got him for. But if it doesn't work, which we all thought, and I'm sure they did too, he's just going to steer them into likely the top pick in the draft. So like, it's kind of like a win-win by losing kind of thing. I don't know does that make sense, Dave? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but you also don't sign Justin Fields expecting to get the first overall pick in the draft.
But you didn't guarantee him a bunch of money, and you signed him effectively for 1 year. So it's not like they committed to him long term.
No, but you signed Justin Fields hoping that you will commit to him long term because he plays so well.
Yes, but there's also a very good chance that doesn't happen, and he plays you to a level where you do challenge to get a very early pick and a quarterback in the next draft. But I think it's inefficient. It's not quite Atlanta Falcons inefficient, right? What is? But it's inefficient, but it has a chance of working out for them in the end.
Yeah, and it's just working out for everybody. It's for anybody currently on the Jets.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Do you guys remember when Campbell had first taken over the Lions gig and they flipped TJ Hawkinson out of the blue at the trade deadline? It was like, wow. It was very obvious that he was not in their plans for the future. Very obvious that whatever it was, culture, whatever, locker room, I don't know. Who knows? I wonder what's coming with the Jets. How many are they going to jettison out of there? Because, Aaron Glenn's goes there to fix the culture and to really help out things that way. I'm sure there are some guys, they just got to get out of that room.
Well, if he wants to trade Sauce Gardner to his former employer,
that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I would take that.
Get his Sauce back.
The Panthers won this game because I guess somebody had to. Bryce Young got hurt in this game with a high ankle sprain. He's already out this week. Andy Dalton's going to start. It's
terrific.
There's nothing to say there.
No. Hold on. So a couple things about the Jets. Scott, you're giving an organization that is notorious for not doing anything smart a hell of a lot of credit for forward thinking. Like, I don't think that's a thing. But also,
you're right.
I want to read a text from Sunday, September 7th at, hold on a second, 1:28 p.m. I'm never giving up on Justin Fields. No one can make me. Somebody on the stream said that.
Yes. I gave up on him last week on air.
Okay. So it's in. All right. You did. All right. Good.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because I was like, wait, I remember somebody saying that. So we're done. The Justin Fields ship has sailed.
Yeah. He will never be a long-term quality average starter in the NFL. He's going to be the best backup the Ravens could ever hope for, but it's over for any kind of developing. Like, this dude, like, literally cannot see the field. He's never going to see the field. He's like me doing geometry. It's never going to happen. It's never coming together for him. It's done.
And in the same vein, Bryce Young is not a competent NFL quarterback, correct?
I kind of think he is.
He's got a better chance than Justin Fields.
Yes, but I don't see 4-3 and think Panthers are really making things happen. But what am I missing?
I don't know that you're missing anything. I mean, their defense is not very good.
They can stop the run, though.
What's that?
They can stop the run, though.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Brown's good, but I don't think Bryce Young has been the reason that they've lost games.
No,
I mean, I don't necessarily think he's driving them to wins either, but he had a couple of good games there right before last week. It's just, I don't know. He was awesome at the end of last season. He really was.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'm sure that's me and not knowing as much about what I'm watching with every single player out there. But when I think of first pick in the draft and I think of how Bryce Young kind of looks, I wonder if he's going to be able to reach that ceiling. I could be wrong.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I don't know that
fair.
he will ever be first pick overall worthy. But the run that he had the last 6 games or so in that range of last season was super efficient. He's always been kind of like a point guard distributor type of quarterback, and he needs to be in a good rhythm, and things just need to be rolling forward for him. And I've wondered for a while, like, if you're playing against that team, if you can get them to just, punt in a possession where they don't think they're going to have to, or just get them sort of off of their rhythm. Is it hard for him to, like, if he takes his foot off the gas pedal, can he find the gas pedal again? Because that's always been like the Stafford thing. Like when Stafford was a Lion, the minute they asked him to just dial it back a little bit, they were losing. It didn't matter how much they were up. And I wonder how much of that is there with Bryce Young. I don't know.
Also, I wonder if the fact that he's 5'7" just means he'll never get there.
He might not.
And the reason I say that is we'll get to Arizona later, but clearly the Cardinals are better with Jacoby Brissett because he can see over the middle of the field. So that could be a Bryce Young problem as well. Giants 32, Broncos 33.
Oh, boy.
In lieu of joining us tonight, Alex has decided to move to Germany. So,
seems like a bold course of action, but hey.
No, yeah. I think I would have if I watched that game, if I was a Giants fan.
What an absolute crazy game. So Denver scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. This game was 19-0 at one point. The Broncos come back to win this absolutely insane game on a walk-off field goal. I actually don't have a super negative thing to say about the Giants here. I feel like this was one of their better performances of the season right up until the last 10 minutes. Because for a while it was like, oh my goodness, they're up 27-8 in this game. I'm like, they went to Denver and did the thing. Like, this is,
yeah. But
this
doesn't
might
help that your
actually be
kicker
happening.
missed extra points. That's a problem.
Nope.
That blows.
Yep. And he's been cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can't really survive that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the Broncos in this game, to me, the Giants blowing this lead doesn't necessarily indicate that they're a horrible team, but the Broncos coming back to win this game does tell me they're a pretty good team.
33 points in a quarter is pretty wild.
Yeah. I'm supposed to have all of Bo Nix's stats here, but I don't. So I get relying on. Oh, you do?
I do.
Please go ahead, real human, and not the AI has to compile it.
27 of 50, 279, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was only sacked twice. I mean,
and on the ground?
Hold on. Bo Nix had 5 carries, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
Which the last touchdown was the one that they took the lead on, was really impressive. It was a really impressive one. I will admit, I think that everybody has their guy who they just don't believe in. And I'm not quite there with Bo Nix yet, but watching this game, I thought he looked really bad for part of this game, which is okay. It happens. But I loved what I saw late in the game when they started to get some momentum. He's making throws, not like dink and dunk throws. He's making legit throws. He's making plays. And I thought, I need to reevaluate how I feel about Bo Nix, which is probably directly tied to how I feel about Sean Payton. So maybe that's not fair. But I agree that I wasn't surprised that the Giants blew this lead because they're not expected to be amazing this year. But I will say that losing with Jackson Dart is a hell of a lot more fun than losing with Russell Wilson. And I think that's where they are now. Although Jackson Dart's stat line was so strange. He was 15 of 33 or something like that, which is wild. But he also had almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, and that the interception he threw late, horrible interception, but that's going to happen with a rookie. It's going to happen with a vet too. I mean, shit, we saw Carson Wentz do that plenty of times. So I wasn't as discouraged on the Giants. I know people want to clown on them and all that, but the Denver Broncos to me looked like they figured out, oh wait, we're a good team somewhere in the fourth quarter. And that's what good teams do.
Matt said that everybody has a guy they don't believe in. Who's yours?
Who's my guy I don't believe in?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to clarify what I mean by that?
Is it, who is it? Who would it be? There's a million of them. Is it Drake May?
DeAndre Swift, obviously.
Yeah. So yours would be Drake May is the joke, right?
I said, yeah, but like,
No. I'm talking about
the Drake May stuff goes back 2.5 years.
No, man.
No.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
He doesn't though.
I'm
yours is
clueless.
Yours is Bo Nix. Scott's is DeAndre Swift. Mine is God. I mean, we've all got our people.
Oh boy.
Mine is God. Yeah, that's great.
If the Giants can avoid a total morale collapse from this loss, I think that this game could actually serve as an actual like turning point in their season on the way to 7 or 8 wins. If they can avoid just like letting it, like, don't let it beat you twice sort of deal.
Yeah, this has to be a springboard to better things. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll find out because they're at Philly this week, and Philly gets Jalen Carter and Quinion Mitchell back, who they did not have against the Giants 2 weeks ago.
We can all admit, though, the Giants right now are as different as they could possibly be from a year ago in a good way.
Yes.
So I guess that's just where we are. You know, like things have turned for them dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next year, not only do they get whatever their decent draft pick is going to be, they also get Malik Neighbors back.
Yeah.
All right, Liam, good timing. Colts 38, Chargers 24. First thing first, the Chargers deserve to lose this game because of those uniforms.
Oh, they're horrible.
My gosh.
Horrible.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I beg to differ.
Like 2 weeks ago, we had the creamsicle Bucs against the 90 Seahawks, and it was just glorious.
Yeah.
And then we get these dirty, overused highlighter yellow Charger uniforms. And
did it remind you of the Michigan Bowl game a few years ago when they wore like neon yellow on neon yellow numbers and you couldn't tell what number anybody had on?
It reminded
me. Do you remember that?
It's like they built the entire uniform out of the pants Kellen Winslow was wearing at the end of the triple overtime game.
Leaky urine color.
Yes.
Did they forget there's no color rush anymore? Because that's what it was. It was just like a color rush you'd see on a Thursday night. It was terrible. And you see what they're wearing this week. They're wearing the 90s. They're kind of thrown back to the 90s Chargers look. And I'm like, why do we need the other one? Can we have that one?
Right. Yeah, between their 90s junior Seau look and their powder blue look.
Yeah. Why
nothing else is needed, right?
Yellow.
I think we're all on the same page there.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. And I think, by the way, we're getting the Broncos in their 90s against Dallas this week, or whenever they play Dallas, I think. I mean,
Liam says, I hate everything. We can't protect my quarterback, Justin Herbert. We are failing Madison Beer. I don't know if I like the Gen Alpha take being Justin Herbert's getting hit. We're failing the girlfriend. Maybe that's like a super progressive and awesome.
Who is Madison Beer?
Madison Beer is Justin Herbert's celebrity girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a singer. I don't know any of her songs. I looked her up for the preview show.
Liam, you're going to take my job from me in no less than 4 to 6 weeks. So stay ready.
No, he's got homework to do. Because apparently Jake thinks homework's more important than YouTube. I mean,
I don't know what he's thinking.
Don't let anybody have kids nowadays.
Right.
Jonathan Taylor, 3 more touchdowns in this game, leads the NFL with 11. He is going to be Offensive Player of the Year unless something happens to him.
Will he win Offensive Player of the Year if he's not a quarterback? Or is
yes,
he won't be that good?
Yes, he won't win MVP. He'll win Offensive Player of the Year.
You're right.
Yeah, so because he's going to end up with over 20 touchdowns on a division winner.
Yeah.
If he doesn't stay healthy, schematically for the Colts, now their offensive line has been playing really well. I mean, Jonathan Taylor obviously is part of that, makes it look a lot better. But I recently did a reel and talked about how if he goes down, then it changes a lot of things for the Colts because they're going to have to rely a lot more heavily on Daniel Jones. And right now he's getting protected by great offensive line play and obviously being able to have that weapon in the backfield. And somebody said in the comments that that's lazy because injuries always hurt. And it was like, no. I'm talking about that specific guy because he has been hurt before. He's a running back. It happens. And if he does go down for a significant amount of time, do we feel like the current iteration of Daniel Jones will be able to sustain the way that he has played without that kind of production to help in all of their offense. And I'm talking about globally with the Colts now.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't root for injuries for anyone except for bad human beings that deserve them, like Deshaun Watson. If Jonathan Taylor goes down for an extended period of time, I will be doing the show next year from a yacht because DJ Giddens is my most drafted player, right behind Bayashil Tootin.
So you're not saying that you're rooting for it, but you're open to it.
Yes, because I have good teams with Jonathan Taylor too, right? So but the reason I have so much DJ Giddens is that I feel like he could step in and be a quality replacement level DeAndre Swift at worst running back in the NFL. And if that's the case, I don't know schematically how much they would need to change. If they went from the best running back in the game to the 18th best running back in the game, they could still.
It needs, whatever happens with the running game, they need to keep their offense on track and good down and distance kind of things. It doesn't mean they need to bust off 50-yard runs and score 3 touchdowns a week. They just need to keep the offense rolling. And I think they can do that kind of stuff. But if you're asking Daniel Jones to overcome all of the problems that will come from Jonathan Taylor missing, I think that's asking way too much.
So we actually have a good comment here from Liam. He says, I have Jonathan Taylor in almost all of my leagues. I didn't start him in the Chargers game because I thought we were going to stop him, but we are the Chargers. So this is an important gambling lesson. And Liam is either 12 or 13. So I'm glad you're learning this now for probably no money, just for, shit talking purposes. But nothing that happens in the NFL on the field is all connected to our feelings. Ever.
Yes.
So you always play Jonathan Taylor because he's the league leader in touchdowns and was coming into the game. He could be playing the 85 Bears. You're playing Jonathan Taylor. It doesn't matter if he's playing your team. It doesn't matter if you want him to fail because none of that impacts what actually happened. I just said I root for injuries for players that are bad human beings. Deshaun Watson, Ben Roethlisberger. But when they're playing, I'll still play them in DFS. I'll draft them in fantasy because my desire to see their leg get ripped off on the field doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't impact what will happen. So,
Liam, are you right? Are you taking down notes on this?
Yes. You must always separate how you risk your money, or right now, since you're so young, risk your ability to shit talk your friends from what you want to happen because they aren't actually connected. So you just got to play JT every week. You got to play good players. When they play the Chiefs, you got to play Mahomes against them. You got to play Rashid Rice against them because it just, what we want doesn't matter. I've got Rome Dunze is one of my key players. I'll be playing him against the Lions. If man,
and as a side note, Liam, always make trades for players who have had their bye already. For like, you want to give up a player who has already had his bye. You want the extra game. You get what I'm saying? Help me out, Dave.
So you want to trade a player whose bye is yet to come for a player whose bye has already happened, especially if they play the same position and they're relatively equal. Yeah.
And then you get an extra game. And none of your friends are going to know that stuff. And then you'll be able to hold that over. Like, you morons. I'm just doing math here.
Yes. And one of the main people I learned fantasy football from was Scott over 20 years ago. I then immediately forgot all the things he taught me and taught myself so I could start winning. But that was a good thing that he just told you there, is acquiring those extra games. So, for example, Lamar is a good target. If you have Josh Allen just came off the bye. Who's a good quarterback who hasn't had a bye yet?
Like Goff this week. It's not a bye.
It's not even. Jalen Hurts for Lamar. Something like that. It's a good example.
Do you guys want a good fantasy football story?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So I'm in a league that we created where 3 of the people in the league, there's 4 people. That's it. Because there are 3 people who don't care about football. They just like to have fantasy football teams. So it's wild. Everything is in play. So I won't say who the commissioner is, but the person may live in my house. She was doing the numbers for the point system and missed a decimal point on kickoff return yards. Well, kickoff returners are now the most valuable player in our league because they get like 150 points a week because of the decimal point error, which we decided not to fix because it's so fucking hilarious. So this week, I scored 450 points and lost because this person's kickoff returner had 300 points. So
that's perfect.
It's
I love how like the first round picks are the 101's Kavontae Turpin.
Well,
Yeah.
no. See, we didn't know this until the first week when the points started coming in, and we were like, "What the hell happened?" Because I'm like, I can't believe I'm gonna drop Lamar Jackson because I need a fucking kickoff returner to slot in my flex spot. It's just wonderful.
That's
Because,
great.
There's no money involved. It's just purely so the other people can have fun and have some interest in rooting for teams and players and stuff like that.
It sounds pretty spectacular.
Oh, it's spectacular. Yeah.
One thing I'm going to suggest for
And
my
we're
work
numbers
league,
people in this house.
for my work league next year, and Liam, you can copy this for your league too, is now that many kickers can kick long field goals routinely, field goals made over 60 yards are worth 12 points.
I mean, I do feel like the point systems in certain leagues need to be updated to kind of go along with how football has changed a little bit, which is why this is funny, the point misstep that we have, but also the kickoff rules are allowing for more kickoff returns. So it, in some strange way, was almost, oh, that was forward thinking without us actually really, realizing it. It was just great when I'm like, wait, why do you have 400 points in week 1? What the hell happened? And we looked in the kickoff. I'm like, who the hell is that guy? He's rostered on 0% of the teams. It was Turpin. And I'm like, what did we do wrong? We looked, and that was the 1 decimal point we missed.
Yeah, it happens.
Whoops. It's fun.
Yeah. This is another good point here. This just turned into fantasy football analysis here for Liam, but we're going to help him out here. So
I also have 2 minutes left, by the way.
Yeah, I got you. So we'll close right here with this one, and then Scott and I will finish up last couple games. So Paul says, I end up with a ton of Notre Dame players, not because I'm that much of a homer, but because our league underrates them. So Liam, Paul went to Notre Dame, but lives in Michigan. Michigan and Michigan State hate Notre Dame. So he's the only Notre Dame fan in his league. So they all play with their emotions. They don't want the Notre Dame players because they don't like them. And so he ends up with good Notre Dame players when they go to the NFL for that reason. You can take advantage the same way. Now, your entire league is probably Chargers fans, which means they might be underrating Raiders, if you can, Broncos and Chiefs.
Yeah,
like you might get Rashee Rice into a like later than you should because all the Charger fans in your league don't want to take him.
Yep, that's how it works.
He says no, they're all Saints fans. Oh. Those poor fools. So they're just overdrafting Kamara and Olave. Paul says, Dave, for catching rules in your work league, turn on fractional points in our CFB league. We need a premium league to do that. So they're $12 per year per person. And I can't get a unanimous vote on it. Anyways, Packers 27, Cardinals 23. Micah Parsons had 3 sacks in this game. Matt, give us your thoughts real quick.
Somehow Jacoby Brissett looks better than Kyler Murray, which I don't really get. The Packers are soft. They're Jekyll and Hyde. I don't trust them. And it was just an odd game where I felt like I should feel confidence in one of these teams, and I have confidence in neither of them.
Neither felt like they wanted to win that game at points.
Nope. No. It was odd. And I feel like Jordan Love, before I leave, I don't know if I talked about this 2 weeks ago, but the idea of a franchise quarterback, I feel like we have gotten to a place where we place franchise quarterback on, okay, we feel like we've got a guy. And Jordan Love, to me, looks like a guy when he's on, it's franchise. But when he's off, my goodness, like it looks bad, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we have undervalued the idea of having a starting quarterback, which is a good thing to have and not an easy thing to find. And that's where I'm so weird. It's so weird with Jordan Love because I watch him play and I think, man, this guy's got some tools. And then I watch him play and I'm like, my God, this guy's Carson Wentz. And I don't like that it's that way. And I feel like he is almost a representation of how the team looks as a whole. Some weeks you're like, man, this team could win the Super Bowl. And then you're like, man, this team loses to the Browns.
Yeah. In very bad fashion.
Right. It doesn't look good when they lose. Now, nobody really looks good when they lose most of the time, but I'm saying it looks like Super Bowl or bust, and then Jesus, first round pick. Like that's where it feels like sometimes with this team.
Yeah.
And that to me never is a sign of a team that's going to make a deep run in the playoffs, which pencil the Packers into the Super Bowl now.
That's always the way it goes.
God, let's hope not.
Yeah.
I don't need that. All right, Matt, you out of here?
I got one more game because I want to say that Dak Prescott could be the MVP.
Okay, so quickly on this last game here, then the Packers are getting Christian Watson back probably this week and Jaden Reed back the week after that. So they'll have their full offensive complement back. And at that point, we'll find out exactly who they really are on offense.
But what do we make of Kyler?
He sucks. He should have played baseball.
Okay.
He's been very meh.
Yeah.
He just has.
Another really strange coach number one pick situation too.
Yeah.
And I think was Josh Rosen their quarterback too? Talk about a guy who never saw the field. Because we talked about McCarthy earlier. And when you were saying, did he give up on him? I was like, Josh Rosen? Anybody?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is the Drew Henson of Jose Altuve's.
Drew Henson, my God. Well, they don't play the same. Well, no, they do play the same. They did play the same sport at one point, but I get your point.
Okay. Exactly. What I'm saying is that they both played. Murray and Henson went and played the wrong sport, and then Murray and Altuve are both short.
Yep.
Okay. Cowboys 44, Commanders 22. CeeDee Lamb 5 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown in his return. Dak Prescott just absolutely fantastic. 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Playing at an MVP level, won't win it though because the team's not going enough games. But
no, he's playing at an MVP
great
level.
George Pickens looked pretty good.
Yes, let me look under my cat and see if I have George Pickens stats right here. Excuse me.
Isn't it amazing what George Pickens does when he has a legitimate quarterback to throw him the ball?
Yes.
He behaves. Or looks like he
to this point.
Looks like he wants to be there.
Yeah.
For a given definition of behaving, because that dude is that dude is a walking crash out.
Yeah, I don't like using that word, but I think you got my point. Is it's like, but if CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are going to look like that all season, and Dak's going to be able to get the ball, if that team could just stop a legitimate nosebleed, they may actually be dangerous. But that defense is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And like their secondary is bad, their pass rush is bad, and you can't have both of those because generally speaking, a good pass rush will help a bad secondary and vice versa.
Yeah.
And you don't have either one of them, you stand zero chance on defense. So Dak better be checking that ball and not throwing picks because they're going to need it.
There was a report early this week that the Dallas Cowboys had checked in with the Las Vegas Raiders about Max Crosby, and I cackled.
I heard that. I know. I did too. But I mean,
now our resident Cowboys fan in the audience, Chrissy B, would say that Max Crosby has a much more team-friendly contract than the one Micah Parsons was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of copium, but it's probably also technically true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it probably is true. But I think for me, this game, what I took away more was looking at the Commanders because I think people are a little bit too. The Commanders are terrible, and like they didn't have any weapons here, so I don't think that that's fair to really judge them on this game. But one thing that happened last year for the Commanders that I think doesn't get talked about a lot is a lot of the stats and these intangibles where it's like record in 1-score games, and they got a lot of bounces, the kind of turnovers that they had, and those things they're not guaranteed to translate year to year, and so I don't think they look precipitously worse necessarily. I mean, Jaden Daniels has obviously been hurt, so that doesn't help. But they didn't have 3 of their receivers, and I feel like I wasn't expecting them to be at the same level that they were last year, but they weren't going to look worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I took away from this, is if Jaden Daniels had all of his guys, they wouldn't have looked this bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, I get it that people are calling the Cowboys defense the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but if you don't have anybody to throw it to, it doesn't matter how bad the defense is. You're not going to look good.
If the Commanders had their top 3 wide receivers in Jaden Daniels for the entire game, they win this game.
Probably.
Yeah, probably so. And that's more what I focus on because I like around here, Dave, as you know, people are like, oh, the Commanders. And I'm like, I expected them to come back a little bit from what they had last year. What they got last year was such a surprise, and I think a refreshing season for them that was like, of course you're going to harp on it. Like guys at work were like, this is a 13-win team. And I'm like, okay, let's chill out a little bit. I'm not saying that can't happen, but a lot of the metrics last year that got them to where they were fortuitous in many ways that, again, you can't bank on that from year to year. Next year, Jaden Daniels stays healthy. They could get some of those bounces. That is a 13, 14-win team. You get my point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Much sense. Sorry, fellas.
No, you're good. You're good.
Marcus Mariota came in the game through a back-breaking pick six. Not only ended the game, but ended the game for fantasy purposes because everybody just ran the ball 47 plays in a row right after that, which had a huge impact on DFS. Like there were lineups that won $1 million this week that should have finished out of the money because the Cowboys and Commanders game tanked off of that pick six. I was calling Marcus Mariota everything but a child of God when he did that. I was not happy. It was bad.
Well, God is not your guy, so
no, and neither are children. All right, Matt, you out?
I do have to go, fellas. Speaking of children, I have a little guy that needs to be put to bed and at least see his father before I get. I do have to tell you guys something before I leave. So my son James likes watching football, and he roots for teams that wear blue, and that doesn't translate every single week. So he could root for the Panthers one week, and if they're wearing white the next week, he will not wear them. However, there is one team, one singular team in the NFL that no matter what they wear, where they play, who they play, he roots for. And guys, it's the Detroit Lions.
Welcome aboard.
Yes. Every Tuesday morning, he got up and his first question was, Daddy, did the Lions win? I'm like,
oh, you're raising that kid to the light.
He chose them himself. He chose them himself. He did a Clev and he chose them himself. I have not had anything to do with this whatsoever. And it doesn't matter. And what he doesn't know yet is he is getting a Detroit Lions hoodie for Christmas.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so amazing.
That is awesome. I look forward to his future as a Lions fan. It's a good time
Yes.
to be a Lions fan.
I mean, I could be setting him up for failure, but I don't think it really matters because he's made this choice. So when he does get this thing and the Lions are in the playoffs, we'll have to bring him up here so you guys can see him in his Lions gear. But that's the last thing I want you to know. He loves the Lions, and I know you guys do too, so you thought you'd find that amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Gentlemen,
awesome to hear.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And next week, if I'm in my same position, you might find me here too.
Invitation's open.
Everybody, have a great night.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep. See ya. All right, Scott. So we have 3 games left in about 5 minutes. So here's what we're going to do. Falcons 10, 49ers 20. The Falcons are way worse on the road and outdoors than they are at home. Christian McCaffrey had like 200 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. Anything else?
Bijan looked really good, but
Always.
It's the whole road home thing. I don't know if that's a Penix issue that's currently happening, but yes, you're good.
Texans 19, Seahawks 27. How much of this game did you watch live?
Live, none.
Girls, same.
Recorded it, like, dude. And there was such ugliness in that game. Bizarre.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. That Monday morning, the Lyft servers were down, and Megan had a flight at 4:30 in the morning, and she had prearranged a Lyft to take her, but that was never going to show up. So I got up and took her to the airport, and then came back, and I couldn't really go back to sleep and whatever. And so the Lions game is over, and I'm just like, all right, time to watch the next game. Next time I woke up on the couch, it was 3:30 in the morning. So
yeah.
So yeah, they can stop that bullshit anytime they want. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Nico Collins has a concussion, so unlikely to play this week.
Yeah.
And that's,
or at least very hard to recover in time to get back. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're a quarterback, you tend to miss a week if you have a concussion.
Yeah.
All right. Buccaneers 9, Lions 24. Jahmyr Gibbs, 200 yards of offense, couple of touchdowns, 70-yard touchdown rush. Mike Evans, broken collarbone and a concussion, out probably at least 2 months. Should probably be longer than that. But Scott, you're our resident Lions roster expert. I had never heard of 4 of the guys who started in the secondary this week, and they played a great game.
It is incredible. It's the takeaway for us Lions slaps is Aaron Glenn would have never been able to take these 4 dudes and deploy them in a manner to let them play effective football, right? He might have taken one and said, hey, I want you, you're going to take Mike Evans and you're going to play man-to-man with him. And yep, you're going to give up 9 catches and 184 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that's okay, for what we're doing. The fact that the Lions and Kelvin Shepherd were able to make Baker Mayfield look as confused as he was, pretty consistently over the length of that game, and then make plays on the ball and be exactly where they should have been, and all these things. It's just so impressive what they were able to do schematically with young players and coaching. And I think that, like, if there's ever been a point where people should look at the Lions and think, okay, this is real, it's after Monday night's game, because their offense is going to be their offense. Yeah. Their offense is really good. Is it efficient at times? No, it could be much more efficient. That game should never have been as close as it was.
No, they made a lot of mistakes in the first half. They kept it close.
Yes, but it's the defense and what they're able to do, missing their top 4 defensive backs, and having it look the way it looked, simply because they figured out how to deploy a scheme with pressures and disguises and all kinds of other things to confuse the quarterback. And it's just like, that's just remarkable what they were able to do. It really is.
Yep. And Jahmyr Gibbs, that boy fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was moving. Hey, we have a fantasy question here in the chat. Sal asks, someone tried to trade me Bucky Irving and Jacoby Myers for Cam Scatterboo. I'm 6-1 with Achane, Jonathan Taylor, and Chuba Hubbard. I think that's a trade that's worth making, because you're already set at the running back position with Achane and JT.
Now, he's giving up Cam Scatterboo and getting Irving
and getting Bucky Irving and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yes, that's a deal that you make, because Bucky Irving is better than Cam Scatterboo, and Bucky Irving's currently hurt. He's going to come back to a team that doesn't have Mike Evans anymore. He's going to be critical to the offense. It'll be fresher for the stretch run.
Yeah.
Also, Scatterboo is great when the Giants are winning.
Yeah.
And the Giants are a cool story this year. They're fun to watch. They're not going to be winning as often as the Bucs.
Yep.
I think that's a trade that you make. You go get Bucky Irving right now. It's not like you need to play him right now.
Listen. This is a trade that you should shut this stream down and go make. Just close what we're doing here.
Well, first, be sure to like the stream, smash the like button, and share the stream with your league mates, because we'd appreciate that. But then also accept that deal, because that's a good deal. And if it's a PPR league, it's a just absolute no question.
Yeah.
And you can cut Jacoby Myers if you want. Honestly, he's not going to do much this year.
Just hang on to him to find out where he's going to get traded to, because I think
that's
he's getting
true.
Traded.
That's true. But the Bucky Irving side is fantastic there.
All day.
So, okay. My Lions thoughts. The Lions are really good and are going to win 12 to 14 games and make it to the NFC title game again. I hope they win.
Me too. Yep.
All right, Scott, before we get out of here, any other thoughts?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I had one, but I forgot it. So I'm very tired. Thank you, everybody who joined us this week. It was great. Sal here at the end, Liam, Paul, always. Jake, I'm sure you're around here somewhere. Alex and Abstentia, sorry about the horrible Giants loss. Please like, share, comment, all that stuff. Every little bit does help us out here. We'll be back next week, 7:30, to review the Week 8 games, and hopefully next review the Bears kicking the shit out of the Ravens.
Halfway, man. It's crazy.
Yep. All right. We'll see everybody next week. Peace.